Hello and welcome everyone to another live stream of Train Sim World tonight. For what we're going to be doing, well, first route we're going to do is London Euston to Watford Junction. I think we're going to do the early morning one, so we're going to do that. And that's going to be our first route of the day. And we're just going to do some other routes during the next, hopefully, maybe hour and a half or whatever, we decide to do in terms of time-wise, and hopefully have a bit of fun on Train Simulator. So yeah, this is the 5th Train Simulator overall. We're going to be driving then this train here from London Euston, the London Overground service going to Watford Junction, obviously. So that is where we are going to be going. Have I just locked the doors? I think I have. And yeah, this is London Euston. Obviously, these are the new London Overground trains. And you can see that Euston nicely displayed. Does the display board work? Hopefully it does. Hopefully that is fully legitimately working and operational. That'd be very nice. These are the platforms, I believe, for obviously London Overground, plus also the slower trains that head between Liverpool Lime Street and Euston, or Birmingham and Euston. So yeah, these are where usually the slower trains come in from. The faster trains usually go out on the other platforms, so I think go out on the platforms to the right and also to further left the field. Obviously, we don't have to get out of this station until, well, 5:38. I might just be a little bit late on that one. However, here is Euston, as you can see, and to be fair, I was actually here just the other week, actually, and it does look very, very nice. Looks pretty much identical to this, as you can see. I think there's a Boots there, Boots Chemist, and there are usually some random, places where you can pick up some food, drink, snacks. I think this is usually a Burger King, if I'm correct in saying. And then obviously down here, you should have public toilets, which I believe you pay. Unfortunately, I don't think we can go down that far, unfortunately. Obviously, not really matter what they are anyway, whether they, whether the toilets are. I'm pretty sure you're not interested in that part, but nonetheless, platform 4, 5, and 6, 7. These trains, I'm pretty sure, usually travel between London and Manchester, whereas platforms, platforms 8, 9, and 12, 10 and 11 are usually trains run by London North Western Railway and, of course, the London Overground. And then 12, 13, and 14, pretty sure these trains are more Edinburgh, Glasgow, and Liverpool Lime Street sort of area, and maybe Birmingham. And then these trains that come from platform 16 usually are the trains that head either to Holyhead or Crewe, or Fishguard towards the ferries, where you can get a ferry from, obviously, there to Ireland, of course. So, yeah, that's a bit of, I don't know, maybe not useful information, but just a bit of information for you all regarding these trains. So let's get on our train then and get this train ready to depart. We are running about a minute now and a half behind schedule, so causing a bit of a delay. We are. The overhead should be up, so yeah, everything should be ready to go, and let's get this train then underway. So here we go then, departing London Euston then we are, as we take a slow approach out of the station. And immediately we can already head up to basically target speed of about 30-25 miles per hour, I think, here. So that's pretty nice. So yeah, just gonna go inside the cabin. So this is outside cabin. We're doing an early morning run, So it's going to be that dawn sort of time, and still things should be fairly lit, but not too lit overall. And for whatever reason, my train, that's what you call it. So, yeah, this is obviously inside the cabin. I do like the London Overground inside of the cabin sort of thing. It does, I think, look really, really nice in here. Very clean cabin overall. I'm going to turn on the light so we can get up to now a bit higher speeds. Up to now about 40 miles per hour. Then, as we've got a green signal, obviously, C is the line we're on. Going a little bit too fast there, so just going to reduce our speed. As I don't want to be speeding really. So, yeah. So, I don't know whether we're on the main line at all at the moment. I feel like we're probably not, because this to me looks more like the tube lines to the right of us, potentially, where you'd see the London Underground run. We do stop at a few London Underground stops. South Hampstead I don't think is one of those, but I do believe we stop at Queen's Park en route. So there are a number of certainly underground stops where we do stop. So yeah, we are still actually on the main West Coast main line, as we can see. Train to the left of us going ever so slightly past us. I think now we're at probably what do you call it? So I'm just gonna ease us down because we're definitely speeding now, which isn't good. Going a bit too fast, as we also then go through a tunnel. So yeah, definitely got to slow us down a lot here. Is South Hampstead underground? I'm not entirely sure. I actually don't think I've been to South Hampstead. Maybe in real life, if I'm being absolutely brutally honest. Still, if it is under tunnel or underground, that's pretty cool. There's very few underground overground stations, because the overground, well, in case you're not familiar with London, obviously the underground's underground usually. There are some suburban parts of London underground, such as Uxbridge, well, loads of parts, you know, Wembley, and yeah, just many other stations, Queen's Park. Mostly zones 1 to 3 or 2 is located underground. Zones 3, 4 are all located usually above ground, or, you know, not necessarily street level, but certainly not the level. So I do think this might be a underground overground stop, oddly enough, because we're still in a very, very long tunnel here, as you can very much see. So yeah, it does feel like a bit of a underground overground stop that we're on at the moment. As we're approaching then South Hampstead, platform 2 we're going to be on. So it would indicate it might be more, but then there is also light at the end of that tunnel. Right, we're just going to slow it down. So no, it's not an underground stop, but it is certainly has a very long tunnel for sure. So here's our first stop of the day, South Hampstead then. As we come in then to South Hampstead, as we just park our train, hopefully and get braking right. I feel like I've gone a little bit deep there. So just applied an emergency brake. In real life you wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, certainly went a little bit deep there. Not the best of parking you'll ever see. So in real life certainly wouldn't wanted to do that. Ideally probably would have wanted to be parked to that here. So yeah, probably need to next time try and park a bit more in the middle of the platform. The platform is pretty long, to be fair, and the train probably isn't a little bit, you know, what do you call it, shorter than actually it really should be, if that makes sense. Not sure if they would have 8-car trains on this sort of line. Anyway, gonna then leave South Hampstead, and next is Kilburn High Road. So I believe there is a Kilburn Underground stop on the Bakerloo, if I'm correct in saying. Pretty sure there is one. Which I probably am right saying there is. So yeah, we're still obviously on the west, or running parallel to the West Coast Main Line. I'm not sure when we actually get onto the underground section. I think it's after Kilburn, it will be. So this is Kilburn High Road. So, as I say, there is a underground section to this station, or nearby. So, be probably somewhere you can transfer over if you were on the underground from obviously Kilburn to then Kilburn High Road and take the overground, of course, going either southbound or northbound. So that's a lot better parking that time. The last time we overshot the platform just ever so slightly, came a bit past it almost with our front driver's door, not necessarily with the passenger door. So, it says the next stop is Watford Junction, but I don't know, hopefully not, because I would like, if we aren't doing a direct route and we've got a few more stops. Good, next stop isn't Watford Junction, it is Queen's Park. So, yeah, Queen's Park is obviously a tube stop usually. Not sure if we do come in on the tube line. If you understand where I'm coming from. I think platform 4 is to the right of platform 3, if I'm correct in saying so. We'll probably have to slow down for a, well, junction change. Go back inside the cab, I will. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to slow it down now, because I feel like whilst we can do 45 miles per hour, I feel like there is going to be a bit of a junction change here. So yeah, this is Queen's Park. So this is the first station where you can obviously take the tube. Tubes do come in on platform 3 and platform 2. So this one's going to Harrow and Wilstow, whilst the other is probably going to Elephant and Castle, or Waterloo usually. So yeah, from here I think majority of the stations are shared overground and underground, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, next should be Kensal Green, a bit further up the rail. We're only running about, ultimately, well, a minute or two behind schedule. The thing is, it is going to be hard to make that scheduling up, which obviously we lost at London Euston due to the fact we just was showing you around Euston a little bit more, giving you a bit of a tour. So yeah, it is going to be very difficult to make the that minute up that we lost at Euston, or 2 minutes we lost at Euston, wherever it was, in this journey, due to the fact how short the distances are between basically the stations, because they're not really far to go. As you can see, literally a mile or less between stations. Majority of them. Thinking maybe we could make up some journey time a little bit later on, potentially, in our final approach to Watford. So there's another overground train. Quite a nice one. Not a bad one. Anyway, coming into then Kensal Green, platform 2, and as I say, all the stations from here are pretty much shared stations for the overground and underground. So that is, I suppose, a good thing. Hopefully don't overshoot, make parking perfect. Okay, not bad, not brilliant. I feel like a little bit on the deep side. Ideally, you'd probably want to be behind this mirror in real life, so then that mirror would be reflective back down the platform for the drivers to see out of. Obviously, do have a tube behind us, which is due in at, well, due in I think 6:01. So yeah, gonna get on with it then. You see the doors locking. So next is Wilston Junction. Now that Wilston is pretty much a station where I think you can, how can you put it? I'm trying to go back into the cab here, not really working. Yeah, just went a tiny bit above speed limit there, so well, I'm not really a professional train driver, as we can see, speeding again, but I'm trying to slow it down. So yeah, this Wilston Junction, there are other trains which I think you can get from Clapham from here. Clapham Junction, another main terminus stations, or main stations in London, obviously Victoria, Euston, King's Cross, Paddington, another one. I feel like there's one more. Charing Cross, is it? No. There's one near the bridge, obviously Waterloo. Not thinking of Waterloo, thinking of the one other across the bridge. On the embankment side. Anyway, so yeah, here's Wilston Junction, as I say, pretty interchangeable station where you can get multiple trains to multiple places from here. Obviously you go basically southbound or northbound, and yeah, we definitely overshot that platform. As I distracted myself. Oh well, it don't really matter. Obviously, for the real train enthusiasts, feel free to criticise me in the comments about my parking there. Right, next up after here I think is Wembley? Oh no, it's Harrelston then. So again, 0.6 miles during in 5:54 AM. Definitely not going to be doing that, so yeah, and it's also again pretty light. I'm thinking probably to turn down the headlights. I might just do that at the next station. There's one of the tubes, Bakerloo line, travelling southbound, probably to either Elephant and Castle, or travelling to Waterloo. think gonna overshoot this one again, just ever so slightly. Maybe not as much as the last time. Yeah, just ever so slightly because we've overshot the signal. Just maybe need to be a little bit more focused on the what you call it. So they are set today. That's all right. Tail lights are on auto. Just turn them on to make sure. Fan temperature. Well, it is September, so gonna have it a bit warm. And fan speed, and only go for high. I'm not sure it does anything that anyway. If you understand where I came from, I'm pretty sure. It is just what you call it, visual only, so I don't think the fans work. I think on one of the trains they actually do, can't remember which one. Might do guard mode after this. Haven't actually done guard mode on trains as of yet. I do know it's a new feature in the game, so I might give that a go. Obviously, I don't think this was a route you could take in the previous game. Could do, I believe, Wilston Junction down to... where was the other station? I think you do it down to Barking or somewhere. Or Battersea, or something like that. So this is the second overground route actually, I believe, in the game, which is pretty nice actually, I think, personally speaking, because I do love the overground. I think most people do. It's a very good way of getting around London as well, to some extent. So we're almost back on schedule. Obviously, probably have been speeding, which have helped us there. So about 10 seconds or whatever late into this stop, which is alright. So I'll take that. About 20 seconds overall. So 20 seconds now behind schedule. So if we can maybe try and depart this within the next 10-20 seconds, which I think we might, we could in theory get back onto the schedule here. So let's see, get the doors closed. So passengers are now boarded. So yeah, we can get, as I say, back onto the schedule here. So we're departing this about 20 seconds late. It's roughly the time we came in. Do have over a mile to go to Wembley Central, which is quite a fair distance, and we're due in literally 2 minutes time. It is close, this one, I think. Very, very close between being back on schedule and not being on schedule. Let's see what we can do. Obviously don't want to speed, trying to keep it as realistic as possible. Don't want to speed. Obviously in real life you wouldn't be, well, your passengers wouldn't thank you for obviously also crashing or overshooting the platforms, so definitely passengers won't be too happy with some of my stops. So just slow it down here, we will. Back down to 40. To have over a minute still though, which is fairly positive news. So I think we can get on to schedule here. Right now we're about 4 miles per hour below the speed limit, make it 5, so I'm just gonna pick up a little bit that speed of our train. Don't want to go too fast, just get up to about 36. I think we'll do nicely, because then we can come in at a steady, hopefully 30-ish miles per hour into the platform. So yeah, now we're more onto the left side of the railway. It's a bit foggy, to be fair. So I really think we might be on schedule here now, if not ever so slightly earlier. Let's see, just want to get this train parked. So yeah, this is Wembley Central. obviously where probably most fans come on match day to watch their teams play in the finals. So yeah, we are now exactly on schedule, so don't have to depart here until 6:01, and well, got about 20 seconds to departure, so just going to wait until about 6:10 before shutting the doors. That therefore buys us, sorry, 6:50. That should buy us about 6 or 7 seconds. Alright, there we go. So, next stop is North Wembley. So yeah, North Wembley is our next stop. Overall, it takes about 50 minutes this journey, so we're about probably halfway there, given, well, we left at 38, so probably about another 10 minutes and we're halfway to our stop. Just going a little bit faster. Ease it down. There we go. Didn't go into red, which I suppose is good, just went into the yellow. Thing about these trains, they are very powerful. If you think they're not powerful, they are very, very powerful trains. Actually, I find, which makes the speed control, certainly for me as a bit of an amateur player to Train Sim World and to just trains in general, does obviously, well, how can I put it, makes life a little bit challenging when you're driving a train like this, because the train wants to go, and in the end you have to try and peg it back a little bit. Hopefully you don't overshoot. I think our parking's fine there. Let's have a look from the outside cam. What's the thing about my controller? I have to jab it 90 times, so ultimately that wouldn't be great, because I don't think the driver could leave his cabin necessarily. It'd be a bit tricky, unless the cabin opens inwards it should be fine, but yeah, it is still decent parking, I suppose, because we haven't really overshot this part, which is the essential bit, I suppose, to a large extent. So yeah, we're gonna now leave then. So next stop is South Kenton, platform 2. Again, distance between the stations are so minimal. I mean, in a lot of the cases, I think the one between Wembley Central and where we came from before that, Houston or something, was probably the longest actually so far. There's the other train now. Was that a Southern going to Euston? That's a bit unusual and uncommon, if I'm being brutally honest. Southern trains you don't really see on this line, or this part of the line. That might not been, might have just been LNWR. Due to fogginess, it probably did throw me off a little bit. Anyway, South Kenton, platform 2. Just accidentally pressed the wrong button there. So yeah, this is South Kenton. Anyway, closed doors now, roughly with about 8 seconds to go. So next stop is Harrow and Woolston. Oh no, it's Kenton, then Harrow, Woolston, and Hatch End. I think after Harrow Woolston, the stops will be a little bit more further afield between the stations, so I think we'll be able to get a bit more speed, potentially. Obviously we are running on the tube section of the map, so this is ultimately where, well, where you'd see most of the underground sort of trains run from Harrow Woolston upwards, or from Wembley down sort of region, or Queen's Park down to Harrow. So yeah, right now that's probably why the stations are so short. However, naturally it is London where a lot of stations are just short, put together sort of stuff. So Kenton's next anyway. Just gonna slow the train down now, probably about 30, or let her just coast into the platform. I will. Overall, I think I've also got the brake markers the wrong way around. Should have on the other light, shouldn't I? Oh well. Not that I care too much about those little things. Obviously, train enthusiasts might go, well, might care about that sort of stuff. Just gonna ease the train up. There we go. There we go. Nice. A decent parking. Looks like a very full train. Well, not anymore. So it looks like maybe a lot of our passengers got off, well, a stop or two ago, and looking a little bit less crowded now. The train is. This carriage isn't necessarily. Quite a lot of people there. Anyway, now running a little bit once again behind the schedule, which isn't what we want. So yeah, next is Harrow and Wealdstone, which got 1.1 miles, so certainly probably the longest so far distance, other than the stop between Wembley Central and the stop prior to that. It's probably the longest distance we've had between the station, and in theory, well, given we started at 5:38, should, in theory, be about halfway to our destination now. So this probably would mark the halfway stage of the journey between Euston and then Watford Junction. I don't know how many people would actually take this journey in real life, especially, well, from Watford up or from Euston down the line. I feel like it would probably get quite empty, the trains, as you start to approach Watford, especially. Maybe Harrow Woolston, it'd still be a bit busy, but I feel once you've probably been past Harrow, it is going to get really empty, a train like this would, because there are faster options, such as taking the main line, using a LNWR service, London North Western Railway. Probably is a quicker way to get central, to get to Euston. I'm just thinking, usually that would be a lot quicker. Even from Harrow, you'd probably be better off taking the London North Western Railway. However, having said that, actually, the Overground might be a more frequent service, so there are, I suppose, benefits and drawbacks to both, because, well, that service, the LNWR, the London North Western Railway, which is just applying there, down probably towards Euston, would probably run every half hour, maybe even longer frequency than that, I'm not too sure, maybe a little bit shorter, who knows. Whereas these, you're probably talking no more than a 5-minute wait for the next Overground service, which will be going in either direction. So yeah, you're not really looking at a long wait at all then, between, well, for the Overgrounds, I wouldn't have thought. So yeah, next is Headstone Lane, so got a 1.2 mile, and as I said, it would get a bit longer, I thought, and indeed it has, just ever so slightly, because it was roughly doing about less than a mile between stations, whereas now it's about 1.2, which is a little bit further, but quite slow at the moment. The speed limit is. Do we have a speed change coming up? Yes, we do. Nice. Take the train up to 45 mile per hour now. Ultimately, which just allows us to open the taps a little bit more. Finally getting a bit of sunnier skies after the morning mist or fog, whatever you would like to call it. I think you'd have to say fog. It's starting to look like clearer skies. Gonna just reduce our speed by 5, just so it balances it out. We did speed a little bit. There we go. So just balance that out there. Right, gonna slow down now anyway. Ideally, you probably don't want to be coming into the station platform more than at 25-30 miles per hour. Again, try and avoid that. That's why I've probably overshot some of the platforms. Ever so slightly. Here, pretty much spot on. Lovely. So overall, it says 650 would be the next one going to Watford. So like that's a little bit of a long wait. How about Euston? So it looks like every 30 minutes. I don't know then, would you be better off? Well, in Train Sim World, if that's the accurate timetables, which I don't think it is, bear that in mind. I don't think that is the accurate timetables. I could be wrong, it might be. But if that's the case, yeah, you then probably would be better off just taking the other overhead. Potentially take the West Coast main lines. If you can get onto one. Because, yeah, obviously it is a more of a commuter service. Either way, but if you were travelling from, obviously, let's say, Watford to Euston, I think the main line would be the better option as we are speeding once again. Keep doing that. Need to stop speeding. Oh well. Yeah, definitely, that's how my opinion is. As I say, probably do a conductor mode after this, and I'm just going to do pure gameplay, so no commentary for that. I won't do, probably, I don't know, maybe commentary a little bit, but we'll see. So we're now at where are we at? So maximum speed on this train is 75 miles per hour, so we can see 120 apparently. Even though, I don't know, could it do more? Who knows? Maybe if you had a downhill section. So yeah, the average distance between, obviously, the journey platforms is roughly about, maybe, well, compared to the underground section of the line, it's probably about 0.4 more extra of a mile on average, I would say. Rough estimate I would give there, which I think is a fair estimate too. I do prefer the off-board cameras. Don't really like being stuck in the cab necessarily. Find when you're in the cab, the environment can be a bit, how can I put it, sterile, I think would be the correct phrase to use. When you're riding like this on the edge of a train, I just feel it's a bit more, I don't know, closer to life, I suppose. More environment to it. There is, obviously, you hear more of the noises, I guess, a little bit more. Which I enjoy. You hear the engine certainly more. Like, yeah. All you can see is the wheels, there's the wheels then. I will admit, since Train Sim World 1, they have come a long way in terms of the development of this game. You know, it just seems a lot smoother overall. A lot cleaner. And we've messed up our braking, haven't we? Hopefully the emergency stop will stop us in time. Come on, please, please, please. Oh, this is close. Okay, in the end, not too bad, I suppose. Not the greatest parking in the world, by no stretch of the imagination. I forgot the train goes that way. Thought it would go straight on. Anyway, this is Bushy, so I think our next stop is Watford. I could be right, could be wrong. If not, we've got one more stop between here and Watford. So it looks like we might go around the back and in, because the high-speed ones go certainly the other way around. So I feel like this goes round and whatever. Potentially here. So just going to shut the door. So yeah, where are we next? Watford High Street. So yeah, Watford High Street's our next stop. So goes a little bit closer, I think, to the shopping centre side of everything. You can see all the buildings, I suppose. Fortunately, unlike the tilt trains, these trains don't have any tilt on them, really. And the tilt trains are very, very nice to drive. But yeah, it looks so much smoother compared to what it would have done back in games that have gone by. Train Sim World 1, certainly remember buying that and playing it for the first time. Excellent game. I think it came about 2020, was it? 2019. And yeah, so yeah, we look like we go around the back here into the station. So stop at Watford High Street. Now, I'm not sure if this would be closer for a match day for the actual Watford football team. Might be, if you were getting off here for football on match day. Makes total sense rather than going to Watford Junction. Do have a, what do you call it, another thing which we can tick off that. If I've got time, I might. There are those little objectives which you can do. So now we're due out in literally a few seconds. It's nice though, Watford High Street. Decent little station, actually. Not gonna lie.
If you feel safe, please help at the next station. And there's no delay till 3.
So yeah, definitely overall on the train coming into then Watford. Here then, Watford Junction, platform 2. And kind of meet up back again with the West Coast Main Line, which is just on the right there, as you can see. So yeah, do meet just back up with that line, but obviously we don't rejoin it fully. I'm not really sure why it splits off exactly, because Watford Junction I'd see more as the main terminus anyway. As we speed again, let's slow it down. So yeah, that's Watford Junction then, and they've got a nice bus junction at a bus station there. Pretty accurate detail, and there we go. That is Watford Junction. So that's going to be the end of this stream. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like. Please also do feel free to comment afterwards, and also, well, we'll have more content on Train Sim World 5 out. But yeah, this is Watford Junction, as you can see. Then, yeah, and we've completed the line route. Then let's see how we got on. Overall, we got 10,200 points, 300 might as well say. I know, but bump that up to 500, so not bad. Let's see if we manage to level up. So I think we got to level 10 now, and overall the Euston Milton Keynes route, we're level 7, class 710 TFL. Got a level 5 in that. That's all right. So yeah, next level, level 6 then for that. Overall, our driver's status be level 11. Next, we're aiming for. So did get docked 840 for speeding, which isn't good, but we did get 2,400 for other things and other good things, so I suppose that's alright. Overall, so here's our stop accuracy overall. So were some that we were way off. For instance, Harry Woolston 16.9 yards. I think our worst, where was our worst? Was that our worst? Really? I'm a bit shocked at that. I'm pretty sure there was one. Ah, there we go. Bushy, 17.4 yards. That certainly was a little bit worse than the other, but might not felt as bad. I don't know. For me, the worst one felt probably Harry Wilston. I'm gonna say, dare I say, but I didn't feel that was that bad actually. I don't know. I have to go watch it back. Anyway, so as I say, that's the end of today's stream. I will have more, obviously, content out on Train Sim World, pure gameplays of routes that you can do. And I'm going to probably start doing some American routes, plus I'm going to do the conductors role probably next, and have that out maybe Sunday. Maybe Saturday if early. Who knows? We'll see. And that then is it for today then. Thank you very much. As I say, please subscribe, like and share. and see you all next time for another video. I'm F1ology on Train Sim World. See you all next time.